This is the morning of the 22nd of September 2024. Article on USA Today written by Nicole Russell, Russell, published on the 22nd. Title: Opinion: Harris lies about Trump and flip-flops on policy. What does she really stand for? Kamala Harris has no problem lying about Donald Trump's platform, flip-flopping on her own policies, and obfuscating on other important things. It makes her actual platform hard to pin down. You know why? Because she doesn't have one. Crazy bitch. Started off her career as a cocksucker. Nothing's changed. One of the dumbest things Kamala Harris' presidential campaign repeats often is that she is ready to turn the page. It's a terrible slogan, an ironic one at that. It has people scratching their heads. The next 4 years, what about the last 4? Still, if you want to know what the next 4 years with Harris as president might look like, it's a guessing game. She's firm on some awful policies that give us a glimpse into a socialist framework of government that runs on joy and taxpayer dollars. But the vice president also has no problem lying about Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump's platform, flip-flopping on her own policies, and obfuscating on other important things. It makes her actual platform hard to pin down. I understand that Trump lies a lot too, but we already know that. What do we know about Harris? Harris is dishonest a lot. As a prosecutor turned politician, Harris can communicate effectively. When she doesn't, there are only a couple of possible reasons. She's either deliberately being unclear or lying. Harris' lies have become more prominent in the past month. During an interview with the National Association of Black Journalists, NABJ, on Tuesday, Harris said 4 years ago, when we came in during the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. She made a similar statement during her debate with Trump. Her claim is grossly overstated. You ever wonder why he always wears jackets? It hides his waist. During the COVID-19 pandemic, which started in early 2020, the unemployment rate spiked to 14.8%. But by December 2020, the unemployment rate had fallen back to 6.7%. That is high compared with other recent years, but nowhere near the worst since the 1930s. For example, the unemployment rate in October 2009, 9 months into Barack Obama's presidency, was 10.2%. He needs to be arrested, he meaning Barack Obama, like floppy-eared, fudge-packing homosexual cocksucker. The point to Harris's false claim is that Biden-Harris administration has improved the economy, but inflation spiked in the highest level in 40 years in the summer of 2022. The cost of essential items like food and housing remain painfully high for millions of Americans, especially those of us on Social Security. In a Primera survey released last year, 72% of middle-class families said their income had fallen behind the rising cost of living, and 74% said they were unable to save for the future. And the government's given us, a 2.3% increase in Social Security? Harris also repeatedly flip-flopped on fracking to extract oil and gas. Who can keep up? Her reversals on something as important as energy production concerns me a lot. It's vital to the American economy to use the abundant resources we have, especially where I live in Texas. Bernie Sanders told the truth about Kamala Harris trying to fool voters. Believe him. When Harris changes her mind based on what's politically expedient, what will she do while in office? Doing whatever is expedient doesn't work for me, and it shouldn't work for you. Harris has done the same thing on abortion. ProPublica published a misleading story about a woman who died after taking medication to induce an abortion. In an ex-post that appears to be in response to that story, she blamed Georgia's law that banned abortions after a viable heartbeat. There is so much at stake in this election, including restoring the freedom that have been taken away from us, Harris wrote. If Donald Trump gets the chance, he will sign a national abortion ban, and these horrific realities will multiply. Trump has said several times that he has no interest in signing a federal ban on abortion, and that due to the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, there's no need for such a ban. Harris makes this false claim about Trump for obvious reasons. Reproductive rights is a hallmark of the Democratic Party, and claiming that Trump will take away those rights is meant to scare the progressive base. Yet the current system, in which each state can establish its own laws on abortion, is the most democratic thing we've seen in a decade on the issue. This month, the Harris campaign launched an ad that tries to tie Trump to the Heritage Foundation Project 2025. Trump has repeatedly said he has no involvement in the organization's plan, even going as far as to disavow it. Yet Harris continues to make the false claim because Project 2025 has been demonized in the news media, and any connection she can make between Trump and the organization makes her opponent look extreme. It's all about guilt by association. In a lot of words, Harris says little. Harris also frequently spouts word salad, defined by Webster's as a string of empty, incoherent, unintelligible, or nonsensical words or comments. Here's an example from a speech Harris delivered Wednesday. I grew up understanding the children of the community are the children of the community, and we shall have a vested interest in ensuring that children can grow up with the resources that they need to achieve their God-given potential. That's a lot of words to say little. In the same speech, Harris couldn't seem to sell her own economic plan. She said she would take on big corporations that engage in price gouging, but then admitted that few companies actually resort to price gouging. Some of Harris' spin is so bad it's almost good. At the NABJ event, Harris was asked about Secret Service protection after the second attempted assassination of Trump. Do you have full confidence in the Secret Service? A journalist asked. Harris responded, I do. But I mean, you can go back to Ohio. Not everybody has Secret Service. And there are far too many people in the country right now who are not feeling safe. She went on, I look at Project 2025 and look at, like you don't say gay laws coming out of Florida. Members of the LGBT community don't feel safe right now. Immigrants or people with immigrant backgrounds don't feel safe right now. Women don't feel safe right now. And so, yes, I feel safe, but that doesn't change my perspective on the importance of fighting for the safety of everybody in our country. Spinning the questions to deflect to other people's problems is cunning. The problem is that feeling unsafe is a far cry from being the target of 2 assassination attempts. That didn't seem to matter to the vice president. A more straightforward candidate would have taken the opportunity to stress the need for greater security and accountability within the Secret Service to prevent political violence from escalating. But Harris wasn't interested in a talking point that would serve the greater good or defend Trump. She was interested in spouting an idea that would make her look sympathetic to other groups. But if anything, the comments made her seem insensitive. Do you want to do this for the next 4 years? When I hear her speak, I groan half of the time. I don't understand what she's trying to say. The other half, I don't agree with her position on policy or her political posturing. Harris's level of servility is sadly common in politicians, but it shouldn't be. I'm glad to see fact checkers after debates or big speeches, but they don't seem to stop They are his campaign from being dishonest, deliberately confusing or flip-flopping on important policies. God forbid that crazy bitch gets anywhere near the Oval Office again. I'll attach the link. And thanks for listening.